Hyundai Tucson 2015 car review. The Hyundai Tucson revives a name the firm used for its mid-sized SUV in days gone by. We're not talking centuries ago, though. The previous generation was on sale between 2004 and 2009, but was replaced by the X35. However, that name didn't last long, and the Tucson has been reintroduced in an effort to take on highly established and capable rivals including the Nissan Qashqai, Renault Kadjar and Mazda CX-5. Big improvement. Hyundai fans will be pleased to see the firm is continuing its drive towards distinctive styling and plush interiors, with this new car a major step forward once again, especially in terms of the materials used in the cabin. We found it quiet, refined and good to drive, with safe handling and the option of relatively low running costs. There's a wide range of engines on offer, including an efficient 1.7-litre diesel and 2 power outputs for a 2-litre. Headline fuel economy of 61.7 miles per gallon is possible with the 1.7, and CO2 emissions of 119 gkm mean it's cheap to tax for both and benefit in-kind taxation. You can also have a pair of petrol engines, one with a turbocharger and one without, but we are not expecting a huge uptake of either. The turbocharged petrol especially seems less attractive as it requires far more regular service intervals. Lots of equipment. You have a choice of 4 trim levels, but as ever with Hyundai cars, each comes with a decent amount of kit for your cash. This company doesn't really do optional extras, you see, preferring to cram all the toys into trim levels instead. And that's the reason this is a particularly safe car too. With the amount of kit installed even at base specification, we'll be surprised if the new Tucson doesn't score a 5-star rating at NCAP just like its X35 predecessor. Long warranty. Further peace of mind will come courtesy of the firm's 5A unlimited mileage warranty, which not only ensures dealer support if something goes wrong, but props up the resale value of the car too. But in a market where there is such fierce competition, does this Korean entry have the mettle to mix it with more established names in the market? We think so, and if you're considering a car like this, it should definitely be on your shortlist. Read on for the comprehensive Hyundai Tucson review. Performance. There's quite a range of engines on offer providing Hyundai Tucson performance, 2 petrol engines and 3 diesels, the latter expected to make up the lion's share of sales. Diesel power. The diesel we were able to try on the launch was the high-powered 2-litre, which comes with 183 bhp and 400 Nm of torque between 1,750 and 2,750 revolutions per minute. That's not a huge power band for maximum torque really, but it feels good on the road because there's enough elsewhere to make up the difference. It's a noisier engine than the petrol, but still not intrusive, and pulls well enough on the road to unlock 0-62 mph time of 9.9 seconds when coupled with the 6-speed manual gearbox we could sample. Incidentally, the gearbox itself is impressive enough. It has a long throw, unlike the sharp-shifting Mazda CX-5, but feels solid and assured in its action. It would certainly be our choice of box in the Tucson. This 2-litre engine is also available as a low-powered unit with 134 bhp and 373 Nm between 1,500 and 2,500 revolutions per minute. At the bottom of the ladder you've got a 1.7-litre diesel, which develops just 114 bhp and 280 Nm between 1,250 and 2,500 revolutions per minute. This one will cover 0-62 mph in 13.7 seconds. We've yet to try either of these, though. Petrol power. The other engine and gearbox combo we were able to sample on the launch event in Germany was the high-powered petrol engine, which Hyundai refers to as the TGDI. Ignore the GDI bit, that's just the firm's nomenclature. It's the T part that's interesting, because there's a turbocharger on board which boosts performance and efficiency significantly. This 1.6-litre engine creates 175 bhp and torque of 265 Nm from 1,500 all the way to 4,500 revolutions per minute. So while it doesn't feel as punchy as the diesel when in its power band, it does feel quicker for longer. It's quieter too, and the power delivery is far more linear, which makes it nicer and more predictable to drive, if not the most exciting thing on earth. As a result, the 062 mph dash is fractionally quicker, taking 9.5 seconds with a 6-speed manual or 9.1 seconds with the DCT dual-clutch automatic gearbox we tried on the launch. The gearbox is impressive in its operation, with smooth and seamless shifts, but there were a couple of bugbears. First of all, even on top-spec Tucsons you don't get paddle shifters to change gears. While not essential for the type of driving most buyers will do, if you're going to pay a £1,500 premium for the gearbox, it would perhaps be good to know what you've paid for. You can change gear yourself, but it means using the gear lever itself, and because you pull it back for a downshift and vice versa, it never feels completely intuitive. Our other complaint about the gearbox is that it can sometimes take a little while to select the next gear, which can be frustrating when pulling out of a junction as you find yourself waiting for it to wake up, your right foot flat on the floor. Selecting sport mode does nothing to stop this, which is frustrating since it's meant to liven up gear shifts. The other engine you can have using petrol is a non-turbo 1.6 which is just 130 bhp and 161 Nm, so completes the 062 mph sprint in 11.5 seconds. Handling: this is an area Hyundai has done a serious amount of work on, and it shows. The Tucson handles well, with impressive body control considering the SUV nature of the vehicle. It rides high but doesn't roll around a lot, which makes it an endearing thing to drive. Don't expect ice rink flat cornering, but we reckon this car handles just as well as a Qashqai or Kadjar, if falling a little short of Mazda's CX-5. We found the steering to be well weighted for most driving, and an absolutely vast improvement on the outgoing X35, a car that struggled with next to no driver involvement in this area. It rolled a lot too, so we're talking step changes in terms of on-road manners here. One thing we weren't keen on or perhaps didn't understand was the flex steer system, or sport mode, in automatic cars. This is meant to add weight to the steering, which sounds brilliant for sportier driving, but in reality you have to concentrate so hard to notice the difference that it's difficult to see why it's there at all. But overall this is a car that's easy to drive, simple to park, and with the four-wheel drive system, actually moderately capable off-road. We did a basic course over mud and some bumps, which confirmed that the system does indeed work when fitted with snow tires. This is no Land Rover, so it's not going to be able to scale many mountains, but should see you safely home over muddy fields or snow. There's a couple of handy off-road systems installed, including a hill descent function which limits speed in both forward and reverse gears to prevent the car rolling away from itself, and a differential lock which splits the torque between the axles in half for better stability at lower speeds on rough terrain. Equipment: there are 4 trim levels on offer here dubbed S, Say, NAF, and Premium Say. Standard Hyundai Tucson equipment: even at the bottom of the Tucson range you do get a fair amount of kit. Highlights from the equipment list at S include 16-inch alloy wheels, cloth seat trim, reclining split 6040 rear seats, air conditioning, a pair of 12-volt power sockets, front and rear armrests, the latter with cup holders, a tire repair kit, 2 rear ISOFIX points, and a tire pressure monitoring system. You also get a stereo with DAB digital radio, Bluetooth, 6 speakers, USB aux-in connections, and a multifunction steering wheel. Moving up to Say specification means 17-inch alloys along with roof rails, front and rear skid plates, a leather-wrapped steering wheel and knob, a luggage net, driver's electric seat lumbar support, heating for front seats, climate control, full-size alloy spare wheel, cooled glove box, cruise control with speed limiter, the fixed steer adjustable steering weight system, rear parking sensors and lane keeping assist functionality. Then on premium vehicles you move up to 19-inch alloy wheels, get a chrome effect radiator grille, electric front seats, heated outer rear seats, leather seat facings, automatic dimming rear view mirror, automatic lights and wipers, electric heated door mirrors, blind spot detection, front and rear parking sensors, a new instrument cluster and an electric parking brake for automatic cars. Manual cars get a manual handbrake. At the top of the range, on premium C cars you're treated to ventilation for the front seats along with chrome door handles, LED headlights, a panoramic glass sunroof, heated steering wheel, powered tailgate, an automatic parking system, automatic only and keyless entry and go. Optional Hyundai Tucson accessories. As usual with Hyundai vehicles, there aren't a huge amount of extras since the trim levels include so much kit as standard. You can pick from a range of color options and there will also be dealer fit items such as tow bars and roof boxes. You'll also have the option to pick service plans to suit you, usually over a fixed period of time at a fixed price. Since you get the 5-year warranty regardless, this might be of interest in an effort to cut down on unexpected bills during your ownership. Comfort. Interior detail Hyundai Tucson 15 on 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 view full gallery. Again, this is an area that's been worked on at significant length by Hyundai at its testing and development premises in Europe. The result is fantastic. Hyundai Tucson comfort levels are highly accomplished. We found the seats to be good, if not quite at the plushness the Renault Kadjar enjoys. They're very comfortable and supportive, and at higher trim levels are heated or even ventilated. We found it easy to get comfortable in the top-spec cars with electronic adjustment of the seats, and found the cabin extremely quiet too, especially in terms of wind and road noise. The petrol engine is quieter than the diesel, but the latter isn't what you'd call loud either. Practicality. This is an area which needs to impress in an SUV, since they're predominantly aimed towards family motoring. In this case, Hyundai Tucson Practicality is about relative with rivals in the class. Its boot space measures 513 litres or 488 litres if you've got a spare tyre instead of an inflation kit, and expands to 1,503 litres or 1,478 litres respectively when the rear seats are folded down. Those back seats also fold down in a 6,040 split for extra versatility. You've got loads of room inside for 4 adults, and 5 will fit at a squeeze. There are cup holders dotted around the cabin. 2 in the front though with bigger bottles of drink. Your arm fouls the gear lever on manual cars and 2 in the armrest between rear seats. You've also got bottle holders in the door pockets and doors which open nice and wide for easy access. Other storage compartments include the area under the heater controls, which also depending on spec contain USB, aux-in and 12-volt jacks. Behind the wheel, this is a marked step forwards for the Korean company. We were particularly impressed with the quality of materials in areas of the cabin you often come into contact with. The steering wheel in particular felt of far better quality than the X35, and that's something you're really going to appreciate. It's worth noting that the cars we tried were in top spec trim, so some bits might not filter down to more lowly cars. However, some parts that aren't likely to change, like the top of the dash, door cards and plastics around the gear lever, also feel of better quality than we are used to, really elevating the Tucson to a level and keeping with its rivals. You're faced with a conventional arrangement with rev counter and speedo surrounding a small screen for trip computer or navigation information. The driving position is high but not too much so, and our top-spec cars had electronic adjustment so it was simple to find a comfortable driving position. Just watch out for storing taller bottles in the front cup holders. They'll foul access to the gear lever, which is especially frustrating in a manual car. Safety. You shouldn't have too much to worry about here. It's fair to assume Hyundai Tucson safety levels will be as good, if not higher, than the X35. and that scored a full 5 stars when crash-tested by the expert at EuroNCAP. There's certainly a lot of kit installed in this area. Standard fare includes automatic headlights and wipers, LED daytime running lights, 6 airbags, an active HUD system which rises in the event of a pedestrian impact, child locks on rear doors, a rollover sensor for the curtain airbags, a sophisticated traction and stability control system, hill start assist, 2 ISOFIX child seat points in the rear, trailer stability assist and tire pressure monitoring. Moving up the trim levels, say adds a full-size spare wheel and cruise control with a speed limiter, plus rear parking sensors and lane keeping assist, which steers you back into your lane if the car detects you drifting unintentionally. Choosing say NAF specification nets you a speed limit sign recognition system, while premium cars get front and rear parking sensors, blind spot detection and an automatic braking system. At the top of the range, premium say cars get keyless entry and start, and automatic versions can also park themselves. Reliability, there really isn't a huge amount to worry about here. While on sale for 5 years, the previous Hyundai Tucson reliability record wasn't affected by any major recalls whatsoever, and that's fairly unusual these days. The X35's record is better still according to the VOSA recall site, so we're not concerned in the slightest. For further peace of mind, it's worth mentioning the 5A unlimited mileage warranty you get with all Hyundai cars.
Yeah.